I'm thinking about dropping a trailer. If I get more than 100 likes on this, I may drop a when it comes to 80s and 90s movies, they're often forgotten. So in this one, I want to go over some of my favorite 90s movies that were really forgotten, that I really don't hear anybody talking about. And before we get into it, make sure you hit that like and subscribe. And as always, I thank you for all your support. And I do have an announcement to make, but I will make that at the end of this video because I am excited for something that I've got coming to the channel. Anyways, let's get
You
into
guys
it.
got fat while everybody starved on the street. It's my turn. You come with me. I'm at the Plaza Hotel. You're welcome. You're all welcome.
When it comes to 90s movies, a lot of them were cheesy, but in this one, I really want to highlight movies I rarely hear people talking about. And this is really in no particular order, but I'm going to get the cheesy ones out of the way that when I was a kid, I loved these. Still own them. Some are only on DVD, some are only on Blu-ray. But these ones just if you weren't a kid in the 90s and you watch these movies now, you probably won't think they were good. But the first one is going to be Space Invaders. Now, I don't know what it was about this movie when I was a kid, but I remember watching movies that I was always like, why can't I discover something like that? Aliens or somebody come to me and I can keep this a secret, like E.T., growing up. E.T. was always like one of those, man, I wish I could meet E.T. Space Invaders, I think what it was really was these aliens or Martians that come from another planet. The main alien there, I loved his voice.
An override before the engine charges up.
There's just something about his laid back, cocky voice that I really liked as a kid. So, and still watching it, would I give this like a 5 stars? Absolutely not. But it's still a good 3.5 stars. And I recommend checking it out. If you were interested in any of these movies that I mentioned, I will leave Amazon affiliate links down below. And any purchase that you make through there is greatly appreciated. The next movie on this lineup is going to be, well, if you're a Hulk Hogan fan, you probably remember this one. But if you're not a wrestling fan like I was in the 80s, early 90s, then this movie probably you've never really even seen. And that's going to be Suburban Commando. It's just basically Hogan. He's from another planet. He basically does all these missions to save other planets. And he has to basically relax, crash lands into Earth after his ship stalls out. He just starts creating all types of mayhem. And I actually really like this one, especially the bounty hunters. They were funny. And then when you find out their voices, it's absolutely hilarious because they're these big macho guys and
You're a dead man, Ramsey.
No wonder you guys never talk.
I really enjoyed this one. I still do. I own this on DVD. Watching it just brings back all those flooding good memories. In the 90s, Sinbad was probably one of those figures that made a lot of great movies. House Guest being one of them. A lot of people don't remember House Guest, but hey, I love that one. But in this particular one, this one is really not talked about, but I still really thoroughly enjoyed it and would still give it a 3.5, maybe 3.8 stars on a scale of 5. And that's going to be First Kid. Basically, Sinbad is an agent who has to watch over the president's son, and the president's son is just a little douchebag. But it's just one of those fun movies. And at the time, Sinbad was just so big. His stand-up comedies were clean, so I was allowed to watch them. He was just a really funny comedian to me growing up, and all of his movies I really did love. Next up, not a lot of people have seen this one. I don't know why. This was probably Leo's, I would give like his third best performance. This Boy's Life with Robert De Niro really is a powerful movie. Basically, Leonardo DiCaprio plays a stepson. He's basically like rebelling against his stepfather. And Robert De Niro plays a straight asshole in this movie to the point where I wanted to go into the screen and slap Robert De Niro. Even when I first seen this movie, I'm kind of glad that my stepfather wasn't like that growing up. It does really bring a lot of different characteristics of how a stepson and a stepfather's relationship really is. Next up, I know everybody knows this movie from Disney because if you grew up in, any kind of decade of Disney, Disney has always been a top hitter. Especially in the 90s, they were coming out with crazy movies. Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin, Blank Check, like all these great movies. But nobody really talks about The Rocketeer. Growing up, besides wanting to be Batman because he was my favorite superhero, I wanted to be the Rocketeer because I thought it was so cool that he strapped the rocket pack to him and that helmet was so awesome and he just took off for like the first time where it really fully worked. And then everybody trying to get their hands on it. I loved how it was set back in the days. The set and the cinematography in this movie is absolutely great. I still own the VHS on this and the Blu-ray, but this is one I would like to see on 4K. This next one is another Robert De Niro film that a lot of people sleep on, also starring Wesley Snipes. And this is basically still relevant in today's society, especially with paparazzi and all that stuff. And it is going to be The Fan. And it's basically Robert De Niro. He is obsessed with a baseball team, and Wesley Snipes is the top gun on that team, so he's always putting his money up against him. He just becomes so obsessed and he wants to make sure that he is going to win big. So basically he kidnaps Wesley Snipes' son and basically holds him for ransom, threatening if he doesn't make these home runs, then he is going to basically hurt his kid. It is such a thrill ride. Little slow in the beginning, but it's really building up to the type of character it really is, and it's just crazy. Even the way he treats his own son is just like out of this world. I don't really hear a lot of people talk about this movie, starring Johnny Depp. And I really like this one. It's got The Rock in it. No, not Dwayne Johnson. The Rock from the sitcom back in the 90s. When you see his face, you'll recognize him. So this one for me is really crazy because Christopher Walken is in it. It's called In the Nick of Time, no pun intended. Basically, Christopher Walken kidnaps Johnny Depp's daughter and is making Johnny Depp go through all these different hoops to basically do something for him that he doesn't want to do, so that if Johnny Depp gets caught, well, then Christopher Walken's character is free and clear. And in this one, The Rock actually helps out. It's a really good movie. And there's a reason why it's called Nick of Time, because he is basically put on a time limit or they kill his daughter. It's actually pretty suspenseful and pretty wild. This next one, very powerful movie. I love this one. It's got some great life lessons in it, but not really talked about a lot. And that's going to be Powder. Just a very strong movie when you think about it. And the way that these kids bully him, and he's just a special kid that has these, kind of supernatural powers. You'll understand it right from the beginning. They explain where these powers come from and why he is the way he is. And it's just such a great movie. Nobody ever talks about it. And it's just weird to me because it is a fantastic movie. Next up, Michael Douglas, another 90s, like almost in every movie, phenomenon. And this one is hardly ever talked about in his category of movies, but it's so good, and it's called The Game. And basically, he's a wealthy banker that just has no cares in the world until literally he loses it all and has to basically play a game and kind of find out who is doing this to him. And the ending has such a twist. I'm not even going to get into any more of that. If you've never seen The Game, if it is available on a streaming service, this is a must watch. Now, before I get to my last one, I do want to talk about when it comes to Kid and Play, a lot of older people were raised on House Party, whereas me, it wasn't really like that. When House Party came out, I was super young, but when Class Act came out, that was basically around the age that I was watching all these type of movies, and that is my favorite Kid and Play movie. I know a lot of people like House Party and all that, but Class Act was one of my favorites, and that is going to be like basically an honorable mention of 90s movies that is often forgotten. And last up on this one that I never hear anybody talk about is starring Bruce Willis and Damon Wayans, and it's going to be The Last Boy Scout. This one is another crazy action thrill ride. Damon Wayans' girlfriend ends up getting murdered, and he ends up getting tangled in all this, and basically Bruce Willis is protecting him. And it is just such a thrill ride, very slept on. Not a lot of people talk about this movie. And when people talk about their 90s favorite movies or forgotten movies, it's always some kind of horror or something. So I wanted to bring you something different as far as that aspect goes, because there are cheesy movies, there are thrillers, suspenseful movies that are just often never talked about. And I talk about 90s movies a lot on this YouTube channel. The one announcement that I wanted to make is I have a new segment coming to the channel. It is going to be dropping in January for the new year. I'm also going to be cleaning up a lot of what works on my channel and what doesn't work on my channel. So there will be a lot less clutter as far as everything being spread around. This will still be a main focus on physical media and movies, but I still will be talking about music, because music is a passion, whether it's R&B, hip hop, house music, freestyle music. I love it all except for country. I'm not a big country fan. Don't cut my throat. That is just what it is. And I'm thinking about dropping a trailer. If I get more than 100 likes on this, I may drop a sneak peek trailer to my new segment, which I really think is going to basically really get people engaged on what this concept is going to be. And I also do have more head-to-head coming. If you don't know what head-to-head is, I will leave it at the end of this video. It's basically two movies and two different characters and basically pin them up against each other. It's usually on gangster movies, but this time I added a little bit of a twist, and it's not all about gangsters. So anyways, don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe. Much love, and thank you for helping me reach 10,000 subscribers. It has meant the world to me. Anyways, I will see you on the next one. Peace.
Thank you. You love me. You really love me. You're not going anywhere.